to another episode of the Flying Upstream podcast. Today, we are diving into how you can break free from an unfulfilling career and transition into aligned work and purpose-driven work. If you've been questioning your current path or feeling the call to seek freedom, fulfillment, and financial success, this episode is packed with powerful insights and tools to help you get started. It's time to fly upstream and create a career that truly aligns with your soul's purpose.
And today we have the pleasure of having this conversation with a special guest, Larisa. Larisa is a savvy, sought after speaker, master results coach, educator, and author of Stop Procrastinating Your Life Away, Discover the Secrets to More Time, Money, and Freedom. Larisa leads highly successful, motivated, conscious entrepreneurs through mental barriers and into unstoppable confidence, authenticity, and empowerment. Holding designations as a certified consultant with Bob Proctor and the Proctor Gallagher Institute, master results coach, master of timeline therapy trainer, and institute head of neuro-linguistic programming and hypnotherapy, Larisa powerfully blends science and psychology to help you unlock your magic and become all you're capable of being, whether it's more passion or profit. We are honored to have Larisa on for a second time. Larisa, welcome back to the Flying Upstream podcast.
I'm so happy to be back. The first one was a lot of fun. So,
Well, we're going to do it again today. And today we really want to start understanding how a listener could break free from the currents that hold us back. Can you start by explaining to all of us what energy healing is and how it can help someone swim against limiting beliefs toward an abundant mindset?
okay. A lot of questions there. So I'll do my best. Albert Einstein said, everything is energy. That's all there is to it. Match the frequency of what you desire and you can't help but get it. This is not philosophy. This is physics. And I love this quote. I say it probably 5 times a week, and I have for the last 6 years, because it really is true. And whether it's healing or whether it's success, whether it's achievement, whether it's anything, the energy you have and the energy you project is what you're going to get back. When it comes to dis-ease, right? And I'm hyphenating it, dis-ease, the dis-ease expressed in a physical body is a representation of something deeper that comes from emotions, that comes from thoughts. And there's always something that's deeper spiritually or energetically that eventually gets expressed physically. And if we want to heal, if we want to feel good, if we want to be aligned, you need to have your energy in a certain place. Because if your energy is like, oh, like, okay, ladies, like if I was just, like you guys wouldn't want to watch it. Like, I mean, my face got a little close to the camera, but you're like, get off the screen. I don't have that kind of time. But the energy you project to anything is going to start dictating the outcome and the results. And that goes straight across the board in everything. And so often we think it's got to be another technique or a strategy or a tactic or a pill or some kind of magic formula, but it's just essentially paying attention and noticing where you're at. Does that make sense? I hope.
It does. It does. It sounds like you're saying that the energy that we carry influences our ability to attract what we want in life, such as a fulfilling career, financial success, the freedom to design the life that we want and one that flows for us. Is that it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And why do you think some people get stuck? Like how do people create those energy blocks in your opinion and in your work based on what you've seen?
I don't think anyone goes out deliberately to attempt to create energy blocks. No one's going to be like, I'm going to wake up and have a crappy day today. I'm going to wake up and just have the most miserable. Sometimes you do, maybe, but these are things that are learned. These are things that are habitual. These are patterns in our world around us. So I'm not a nail salon person, but I get my nails done because my hands are very good working farmer hands. And when I hold papers up on camera, this looks a lot better. These look prettier in photo shoots. So I get my nails done. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I do it. And when I go to the nail salon, most of the time, what's playing? The news. And it's like the most toxic thing out there. And it just weighs you down. It just pulls you down. Even if you don't know what they're saying or talking about, there's just this heavy energy. And when you spread crap, you get more crap. When you spread good things, good thoughts, good energy, you get more of what you're putting out there. And the fact is, toxicity sells, negativity sells. It gets ratings because get people get carried away with this. People get inundated with so many messages, and they just don't know the difference because they haven't paid attention. And it's not that they don't want to or they're not capable. It's just so commonplace that we start to accept it as the normal way of being. And it's just how it is. It doesn't have to be that way. If you actually want to live a life of abundance, you may have to go against the norm, because the fact is abundance is available for everyone, but most people don't claim it. It's free. It's ready to be handed to you on a silver platter, but you've got to actually be willing to claim it. And a huge part of that is energetic alignment.
So help us understand a little bit more about that, because I think your typical person probably feels stuck in their career. They may be at a job they don't like. They don't know how to get out of it. If they can understand that there are those energy blocks that are keeping them from making a leap, getting a new job, getting out of a bad relationship, just making changes in your life to lead to that abundance, what are some of those typical blocks? And then what do how do people take that step?
Yeah, I love let's use the work example. So you're unhappy with your job. You think you should do better. You know you could do better. You feel stuck. So you get to work and you feel miserable. You start your day, you complain, you whine, and whether it's out of your mouth or maybe inside your own head. And sometimes we don't say things out of our mouth, but the thoughts are going on in our head. So what do? You might get like a really angry face, and maybe someone doesn't respond to you as kindly as you'd like, or it just turns into this spiral. And when you truly want to make a change, you've got to start within. You can't be following your old trends. If you want to have a better time at work, it starts by saying, I'm going to choose to have a better attitude today. I'm going to walk in, and even though I had the worst morning or the worst night, I'm going to walk in and literally wipe the slate and decide to show up with a good attitude. I've decided that I'm going to feel as good as possible. I've decided that I'm going to compliment someone. I've decided that I'm going to look for 3 really good things about my job and actually appreciate them. So maybe I don't love everything about your job, but I love that I get a paycheck. I love that I get to help people. Maybe you love the coffee at work. Maybe you get along with a coworker. Maybe not everybody. But until you actually start deliberately looking for the good things in your world and in your life, you're not going to get them.
So tell me how this is different from what I know I was brought up, and so many people were, which is to just push down your feelings. If you're upset, you're angry, you're just kind of hating life at that moment, like pushing that down and faking the smile, but you're not addressing your feelings. So how is that, what you're saying, different than that?
Yeah. And so as humans, all feelings are valid. If you feel bad, that's okay. If you are angry, you are entitled to feel angry. If you're sad, you're entitled to feel sad. The problem is when it comes to feelings, we have a feeling and then we carry it. We loop all of the garbage in our minds that led to that feeling. So, and you spin and you ruminate and you ruminate and you ruminate, and then it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, kind of like a tornado. And you're never going to succeed that way. You should absolutely honor yourself and feel those feelings for 45 to 90 seconds. Maybe you even need it for an hour or two, or even a day or two. but carrying them with you and looping the story, that's on you. And when you can start differentiating between, like, am I actually sad, or am I going and visiting the experience I had when I felt sad? Like, why are you going back to that moment? People are like, oh, I can't control it. You can. It's like, oh, well, I'm thinking about that, so of course I'm going to be miserable. Why wouldn't you? I mean, if I wanted, I could make you ladies feel miserable, but that's not going to help me. I don't really want to do that. And on the flip side, I could talk about your beautiful smiles, your beautiful energy, the amazing content that you provide the world to make the world a better place. Like, that's a much more constructive thing to focus on. And the thoughts we think, the conversations we have, where we spend our mental and physical real estate is what's ultimately going to lead us to how we feel and how we show up.
Yeah, I love what you shared. Two things, 2 points. The first one is, about the feelings and them all being valid, because I think that, to Kristen's earlier point, is we're brought up, a lot of us, like Kristen, I was brought up with the idea of, like, just shove those feelings down, like, just move past them, don't acknowledge them, etc. But that didn't work for me, for sure. So I love the idea of feeling them. And one of the things that I've allowed for myself through my own healing journey, which seems like it's a lifelong one, has been, for really big events, I allow myself 3 days, 3 days, one weekday and the weekend, and I can stay in bed and I can cry and I can do whatever I need to do. And then I need to get myself together and I need to keep going with life and focusing on the second point that I wanted to make, which is my thoughts. They are under my control. If I choose to not think positive things, then I am choosing also to attract those negative thoughts I'm having. And so by going into work and focusing on the positive things, I'm going to begin to attract positive things. And also, I want to add that, with everything being energy, what starts to happen is you start to attract positive things. And that's what you've been saying, I feel like, this
Yeah.
whole time. One of the things that I learned that was really valuable is thought forms. The thought forms, to me, I picture them as like a little cloud, and I get to give that cloud color and I get to give it power. And how much power and how much color I give to it is completely up to me. And so, I wonder, for you, in your experience and in the work that you do, and in terms of energy healing, when it comes to helping people reframe those thoughts, for example, in the example that we're using in terms of work, how can somebody, you mentioned some great ones, but how else, big picture, can somebody take those thoughts to begin instead focusing on, hey, this is what I don't like about the job, in a positive way, so that they can start learning what it is that they do want in their next job or in the work that they do want to do.
Mm-hmm. And that's a great point, because so often I hear people, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want. And the best, and you just said it, the easiest way to identify what you do want is asking yourself, like, what don't I want? If you are totally stuck and have no clue where to start, write a list of the things you don't want, and one by one, line by line, rewrite it to what you actually do want. And it sounds overly simplistic, but yesterday I had a client call, and we work with there's a model of the mind and body that we work with. And I've been using this for years. And one of my clients, this morning, she shared with me, she's like, when I was doing this exercise last night, I totally rolled my eyes. She's like, this thing again. And then she's like, and as I started writing, she's like, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. And then she got her big aha, and she's done this simple contrast frame exercise dozens, probably hundreds of times over the years. However, she gets something different from it each time. Why? Because we take a look at where we are, or what we don't want, and we literally rewrite it to exactly what we do want. And when you look at the contrast, so it's like, I don't want to have friction with my coworkers. What's the opposite? I want to get along with them. Pretty simple. I want a friend at work. I want to feel comfortable at my desk. Maybe I want to, maybe you don't even want to get along with people. Maybe you're like, I want to feel confident in what I do. Maybe you just don't have the skill set, so you're intimidated by other people and pissed at them. But deep down, it's because you're not actually good enough at your job yet, and you're taking it out on others in your own mind and using it as a really convenient excuse. And so you need to be truthful with your statement. The words you say matter. They have to matter to you. I've given you a few examples, but you know when you're lying to yourself and you know when you're telling the truth. So what else might you want? I want more money. Who doesn't say that? Oh, I want more money. Okay, well, how much more? Because more money, I can give you $1 and you're probably going to be angry at that because you're like, no, I want more. Well, how much specifically do you want? I want 5,000 a year or more in this position or doing my work. Okay, that's at least specific, and your conscious mind sets the goal, your unconscious mind goes and gets the goal. So if you say more money, you might get $1 or a penny more. But if you actually say, I want $5,000, there's going to be things that happen in the back of your mind that help you go attract that $5,000 or $10,000 or $100,000, whatever that amount is for you. But you've got to be clear on that. And let's say another thing, maybe another example, I don't want to be micromanaged, right? If you're an employee and you have superiors, maybe they micromanage you. Well, do you want more autonomy? Do you want more collaboration? Maybe you want something as simple as a weekly meeting with your supervisor. These could be very, very simple solutions. And you've got to make sure that what you actually do want, in contrast, sits well with you. If you're like, no, I don't want that, then you keep searching until you find the thing that you do want. It's simple, not always easy, because everyone has a different aspect of what they want.
Absolutely. And I appreciate that you're mentioning this is very personal and individual. This is different for everybody in terms of what we want in life, money, health, better job situation, better relationships, whatever that may be. And the framework still works for it, no matter where you are in terms of your journey in life, your stage, whatever that looks like for you. This is still a very powerful tool for getting what you want. So
Yeah.
help us understand a little more of some of the specifics of how it works. Okay, so let's say I'm in a job I don't care for. People are not nice to me. I'm kind of grumpy all the time, but I want to start to change my mindset like we're talking about. So I'm going to start to have positive thoughts instead of the negative thoughts. I'm going to try to be kinder to people, find that one or two things each day that I do appreciate about my job, and kind of take that first step. How does that actually work? How does it actually make your life better?
What you focus on expands, and you get everything you focus on. Where attention goes, your energy will flow and your results will show. If you focus on the good things and all day long you literally walk around and only talk about what's good, and maybe in the beginning, in the back of your mind, you'll be talking back to yourself going, you're full of crap, you're like, what the hell are you doing? Because you're not used to it. You'll feel like very awkward, but you still say these things are truthful. You're like, you know what, I got this beautiful essential oil gift from my assistant, and I'm like, it's got gemstones in it. It smells so good. Like that's pretty good. She didn't have to buy it for me, but she knows I love this stuff. It's in a lovely bottle. Like, I feel luxurious every time I touch it. It's got this beautiful, I can buy it. Oh, okay. I have a buttery moisturizer. Damn. I do love having my hands like super soft. Saturday, I was at the spa and I had ladies go, wow, they touched my arm and they're like, wow, your skin's so soft. That was before I even went in for any treatments. How cool is that? My buttery moisturizer works. Okay. What else is good? I've got tea. Oh my God. I have so much tea at home. I love all my teas. I have a different flavor for all of my different moods, just like all of the colors I have in my wardrobe. That's pretty cool. Damn, I have a lot of colors of clothes in my wardrobe to match my different energies. That's good. I have clean underwear. That's really good. Really good. I have toilet paper. That's good too. So like what's good in your life? What's good at work? I get a paycheck. I have my own desk. I have a really nice computer. Like these might be simple things that we take for granted, but if you literally only do the good things, and sometimes the good things are I have tea at home. Sometimes the good thing is I have a banana to eat for breakfast. Or like it could be like the most mundane things, but if you only speak about the good things, you will start to forget some of the other things. It might take time, but give it a couple days and you're going to start noticing more of the good things. Like I just did this and I'm like, oh yeah, I have flowers on my desk that my husband bought me. Like how cool is that? He's so thoughtful. And there's so many blessings we have in our lives, but we may not be used to actually acknowledging them and focusing on what's good. What's good? I have internet and I get to be here speaking with both of you ladies and everyone else listening. That's really good because I can't imagine having to travel to have this conversation. That would be just so much work. And this is so incredibly convenient for all of us. Like, that's pretty cool. It's really good. So simple. And I like going on these rants because so often we think it has to be one kind of thing. It can be anything in life, in business, with money. If you want to attract more money, start saying good things about money. Stop complaining about not having any. If all you have is 25 cents, really be like, I got 25 cents and own it. If all you've got is $100,000 and you think you should have 10 million, okay, I've got $100,000. What a great start. I'm moving in the right direction. So it doesn't matter the quantity, but it does matter your attitude towards something. And when you start to wake up and pay attention, consciousness, everyone's like, ooh, let's have consciousness. It's basically paying attention. Like you think about it, consciousness is just paying attention to things. It's raising your awareness. It's noticing who you are, how you relate to the world. Then you start to make positive changes. It's not about, yay, let's have positivity and just be like happy-go-lucky. It's not about that toxic positivity. It's actually buying into these things. They have to be truthful, but start spending more time speaking those truths. Spend more time in those truths. Spend more time with people that point out the good. Spend less time with the opposite.
I love how you said that, because I think we get so lost in like big picture. We're like, what is energy healing? And we think it has to be this like big thing and these things that are not attainable. In reality, it's as simple as you shared it. It's, start spending time in it and the process. Because I think people are like, I realize I want it, and then in like 2 weeks I should have it. There is a process, and in the process is where growth happens, and the process is where we learn. And I love the way that you shared it, because one of the things that we really love doing here at Flying Upstream is we really love to encourage listeners to embrace their unique path. We're here for everybody to acknowledge and tap into themselves and into that consciousness, into their intuition, and understand things like energy healing to be able to move their life towards whatever path they want to travel, even if that means that it's swimming against the norm. And as we're getting ready to wrap up this amazing conversation we've had, I'd love to know, Larisa, what final message of encouragement would you share with someone who is ready to trust their energy, who is ready to embrace abundance, and who's ready to just fly upstream into a really fulfilling life?
Yeah. I would say get to know yourself better than anyone else, because no one is going to do it for you. And when you truly get to know yourself, you're going to be able to gauge, is this suggestion right for me or not? You're going to be able to tap into that intuition and that sixth sense so much better. And as you build your self-trust, like your self-trust is everything. You're going to be able to make those better choices. You're going to start attracting more of what you truly desire, because you're going to actually know what that is. So often we don't get what we want because we don't even identify what we want. But you've got to pay attention to you to even take that first step. So get to know yourself better than anyone else. That might be through journaling. Maybe that's through a spiritual practice. Maybe that's just by, like I said, mechanically noticing what's good and noticing what you actually pay attention to. Is it people? Is it conversations? Is it things? Is it uh, is it cuddles? Is it compliments? Like what do you give your attention to? And you really learn a lot about yourself. You are your most interesting subject. I am my most interesting subject. Like, I love learning about myself. I also love learning about my clients. I find it fascinating to see how people's minds really do work, and to see how they can evolve and start to shift over time. But it ultimately starts with that commitment to yourself.
So inspiring, Larissa. Thank you. I love that. Starts with your commitment to yourself. Yes, and no one can do it better than you. Thank you for sharing this insight today. And what an incredible conversation. Larissa, thank you for all your wisdom on energy healing, abundance, and breaking free from the currents that are holding us back. And remember, you don't have to navigate this journey alone. If you're ready to take the leap, start small, tune into your energy, shift your mindset, and take that first step toward your purpose.
That is right. Today, Larissa has shared a beautiful resource with us that if you are interested in moving forward and if you have loved this episode, we will include that in the show notes and in the description so that you can start working toward that mentality and that mindset and that abundance that you also deserve in your life. And also, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave us a review and to share it with someone who needs to hear this message.
Until next time, swim against the current, trust the flow, and keep flying upstream.